It might be time for a new intro. Like the last two clips, like 90% of the players that show up are no longer employed by the Celtics. I just realized that.
We're
That
keeping
that
their memories alive.
Yeah, we're trying to make sure that nobody forgets Xavier Tillman Sr. played for the Celtics.
A year-long tribute video.
Yes. Just for Xavier Tillman. The new intro is going to be just Xavier Tillman highlights, which is good because, again, it's only supposed to be about 30 seconds, and that about sums
We
up
just
his.
play the corner three against Dallas for 30 seconds.
You just slow it down. Just like it's just we watch it one time, but it spans the entire 30 seconds. I think that'd be pretty chill. I'd probably cry. That'd be one of those retweet if you cried moments. I would retweet for sure.
It might be the most viral Celtics moment on social media.
Yeah. Without question, especially with the bench reaction because they treated it like he was a Make-A-Wish kid. Which like they knew. They knew before. Actually, that sounds fucked up, but they knew he was never going to make another three ever again. So they reacted accordingly. Anyway, that's what happens when we don't record for a week. We talk about Xavier Tillman being a Make-A-Wish kid. And by we, I mean I do. But yeah, welcome back to the Hour Back Report, episode 17. First episode in 2 weeks. The last time we recorded, the Patriots hadn't played in the Super Bowl, and they still haven't played in the Super Bowl, which is crazy to think about.
Maybe one of these weeks.
Maybe one of these weeks. A year from now, who knows? But yeah, we're not going to bother recapping the three games that happened over a week ago because y'all know what happened. So we're just going to kind of keep it relatively, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. We're just going to talk about, we're going to generally talk about, first impressions of Nikola Vucevic, and that's pretty much it. Maybe the Knicks game will go into a little bit more detail just because that's actually a good basketball team. And I have to talk about how much I hate Jose Alvarado. And yeah, and then we'll move on with the show. I'm Jordan, joined by Jamie and Jack. Boys, how we doing?
I feel like this has been the weirdest last 2 weeks because we have the Olympics, so there's no hockey, and All-Star break for basketball. So I just come home sometimes, look at the TV, and I'm just like, I've never wanted spring training baseball to fill a gap, even though it's irrelevant. I need that Trey Thompson right now with no sports going on.
Yeah, I desperately need to watch Tyler Uberstein strike out a business major so badly. I've been waiting for it. I yearn for it. Jack, how you doing, man?
Out on the next pod?
What?
He's gonna strike me out on the next pod?
Hey, I mean, if you think about it, it's not unprecedented for MLB players to strike out. I mean, Uberstein's not an MLB player yet, but MLB players to strike out podcasters.
That's true.
Because didn't Bregman struck out Carabas 6 years ago at this point in wiffle ball? So we're just recreating.
He ran out of town.
That is true. That's a very good point. I didn't even think about the fact that Carabas was quietly railroading him and being like, Craig, absolutely not. Do not bring this man back. We want Caleb Durbin. That's what Carabas was saying.
And Andrew Monasterio, however you pronounce that.
Yeah, and what's that other guy's name? Anthony Siegler. I'd forgotten who that guy was until I had to write about the trade. And I was like, oh right, that's the third guy they traded for. But yeah, speaking of trades, Nikola Vucevic hadn't played yet the last time we recorded, so he's got 3 games with the Boston Celtics under his belt. Hasn't started any of them, which I think is interesting. I wonder if that'll continue as we progress late into the season. But I'll throw it to you first, Jack. What are your first impressions of Nikola Vucevic as a Boston Celtic?
He's been about what I've expected so far. And that's, I honestly did kind of have a feeling he would be coming off the bench, mainly because I think what Keita has given them in terms of as a pick and roll defender and as a rim protector is something that's invaluable to this starting lineup, especially with the current roster construction. And all the flaws that people have said about Vucevic throughout his career, while a lot of them are valid, if he's playing mainly against backup bigs, they look a lot less like problems because he's better than any backup big in the league you can throw at him besides maybe Naz Reid. Like that's really like the only guy who I feel like, well, he's maybe as good as Vooch. And he's
Maybe
looked really
Hartenstein.
yeah, iHeart
Or is he
totally in that
starting still?
conversation as well. They've mainly started double big lineups, but like iHeart's another guy who totally would be in that tier for sure. And but he looks good, you know. Obviously, he's going to generate far fewer looks than he did in Chicago because he's playing on a way more talented team coming off the bench. But the scoring's good. The rebounding, especially on a rate basis, looks good. He's hitting his threes. He's still shooting 4 threes a game, and he's shooting 42% on them. Obviously, very small sample size. But like as much as you know, there were highs with the Luka Garza experience, and not that Luka Garza like doesn't play anymore, but Vooch is taking over most of the general Garza minutes. And I'd much rather have Vooch doing that. And if you're able to re-sign him on like a team-friendly deal in the offseason, like I'm totally into that. And I think because of the differences in their skills, like you can run double big lineups with Vooch and Keita. Like you're gonna get different looks throughout the season. Mazzulla is gonna play around with things, but so far so good. I liked the move, and I like it even more seeing him on the team. And I do think it's crazy Derrick Rose turned down $5 million for number 9, but like I guess when you're making that much money, $5 million is nothing. But
I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take $5 million.
Yeah. I think my first impressions of Vooch so far, I mean, he's had 2 really good games, and then the Knicks game, he was absolutely horrible, but like who on the Celtics wasn't bad that game? It feels like everyone kind of sucked against the Knicks. That's why they lost by double digits. But yeah, 14 and 10, 2 assists a game, shooting pretty well so far. And it's not like he's like his minutes, like he hasn't started, but his minutes, he's averaging 26 a game versus 30.8 with the Bulls. So it's not like he's playing a lot less. He's just not starting. And this is something that like Mazzulla's done where he doesn't really like to mess with the bench too much. Like he would bring in Vucevic, and if he was starting him right away, that would like really kind of throw a wrench in the whole rotation. But if he just starts Garza and then puts Vucevic in the Garza role as far as minutes go, it kind of works out. I mean, you already had to replace the minutes you were losing by trading Simons for him, but you know, so far so good. Can't really complain. He said all the right things, which is nice. He sounds very different than I thought he'd sound. I don't think I'd ever heard him speak before he became a Celtic. I was not expecting him to sound like that. But he's been pretty good, and it's got me excited for, you know, how the rest of the season's going to go, whether Tatum comes back or not, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But Jamie, what are your first impressions of Nikola Vucevic as a Celtic?
I've been impressed. I feel like he's fit really well into the role they've had him play. I was at the Bulls game. I was kind of impressed. I think he had 3 threes that game, or he made it kind of look easy shooting from 3, or even 4, even better. See,
I put money on it, so I know he had 4.
Not a gambling pot, but we did bet on Vucevic at 3s. No, it's been impressive how he's fit in, even in that game, and even the spacing and kind of plays he's created. I feel like other than the next game, like you said, he's been really good, and you get to see less Luka Garza, which is good. And I feel like we talked about before, you can kind of have more matchups with Garza when those rare opportunities present themselves. And I think he's fit well into the rotation for what they've had him do.
Yeah, he's been really good. Other than that Knicks game, but everyone was missing shots in that Knicks game. I do find it interesting, kind of the first little like patch of games since they acquired Vucevic with Garza in the lineup. I think twice. I think he started 2 games since like that Vucevic has played. He obviously started against Houston as well, but it's been fascinating, and I wonder if it's just a matter of because like Shireman, I feel like has played awesome, especially as a starter, even though he's not, it's kind of looks different every single night. Like you're not getting 10 points out of him every single game. You'll get like 14 one game and 4 the next game, but he'll give you 7 boards and 5 assists. And he's more of a complementary piece than Vooch as a starter, or somebody that can kind of take a back seat on offense. So when Tatum comes back, you can just remove Garza from the lineup, put Tatum there, and move as you wish from there. We don't need to talk about all three of the games that happened. That comeback against the Heat was pretty sick. Vooch's first game with the Celtics, obviously they beat the living snot out of the Bulls in the third game of that little 3-game stretch, and there were some runs against the Knicks, but they just didn't really have any real like sustainable answers for them. But the one thing that I wanted to bring up from that game is, man, I hate Jose Alvarado. I can already tell that he's like my new Kyle Lowry. Where like when the Celtics play the Knicks in the playoffs, I'm going to say maybe the worst things ever about Jose Alvarado. Because I could feel it like building in me watching Jaylen Brown look Alvarado dead in the face. Like, we all know he does that little sneak up behind you, steal the ball thing. Jaylen, look him dead in the face and then go, let me go dribble in front of you and make your job a lot easier. And then obviously him hitting a couple threes pissed me off. But yeah, I mean, like, I guess kind of a measuring stick game. You see them, I think everyone except Anunoby played for the Knicks as far as like their normal rotations concerned. Post deadline, obviously, you had Vucevic playing. Still no Tatum, obviously, but you got smoked on your home floor. Really had a bad omen in the air for Boston sports that day. But I don't know. Do you guys have any concerns having watched that game? Any, like, I guess, general takeaways from getting spanked by the Knicks on their home floor?
Guess my only one, I wish it was kind of a little closer, given that it was at the Garden. But the Knicks are a really good team, so I wasn't, stunned. It's not like they're playing the Kings or the Bulls. Would have been nice if it was closer, especially that third quarter when they only had 15 points, I think, was kind of tough to watch. But I feel like, wasn't surprised I lost. Just wish it was by more than maybe like 10 points instead of the 20 that it was.
Yeah, it got ugly. Jack, do you have any concerns about this one?
I mean, it depends how you want to look at it, right? Where, like, on one side of it, it's like, yeah, you'd want to win this game, especially considering you're at home, you're kind of battling back and forth with the Knicks over the 2 seed. The Celts are still up half a point, or half a game, excuse me, on that. Been too much Olympic hockey. And Anunoby was out and McBride was out, so you have 2 injuries there. But at the end of the day, what it's really going to come down to is, and once again, we're going to get into this later, is Tatum going to exist this year? And if Tatum does, I don't really care that much. And if he doesn't, kind of who cares, because you're not winning a championship this year without him anyways. So like on the concern level, like it kind of amounts to a no, because either it doesn't matter for good reasons or for bad reasons.
Yeah, my main takeaway is just this team needs Jayson Tatum, and not that it's like really a hot take. I think most people that are halfway serious about their sports analysis agree that the Celtics are not going to win the East, or much less an NBA championship without Jayson Tatum, even if it's not 100% Jayson Tatum when/if he comes back. Like you just aren't going to survive. Like Jaylen had a 26-point effort, but didn't really do much of anything else. He didn't shoot super efficiently. Derek White was 7 of 14, but 3 of 9 from 3. Pritchard gave you nothing off the bench. Shireman had 10 and 13 because Baylor Shireman's like a walking double now that he's a starter. But yeah, it wasn't a good showing. They're gonna need JT back, and then obviously Vucevic was 1 for 6 from 3, which is not good. But he's been lights out from 3 in the other 2 games he's played. But yeah, nothing really else on those 3 games to talk about, unless you guys have anything pressing about those games. Again, they were over a week ago, so I just didn't want to spend a ton of time on them. But if
Yeah, I
you
got
guys have
nothing.
anything, yeah. All right, so we'll move into. I guess we could talk a little bit about All-Star Weekend. I'll be honest with you guys, I didn't watch shit from it. Like I really didn't. It's just I take it as a bye week. It's like it's genuinely I treat it the same way I do when the Patriots run a bye. It's like, okay, no football this week. All-Star Weekend, it's just the 3-point shootout. Like I guess it was cool that Dame won it, but also kind of lame that he was in it to begin with.
Yeah, especially like it's a shame because like I feel like growing up, like All-Star Saturday Night was like what you would watch and you'd skip the All-Star game because the All-Star game in basketball has always sucked. But like the dunk contest and 3-point contest at least like could kind of redeem you a lot of the time, especially in like peak Zach LaVine, Aaron Gordon era, where I was like, okay, some actual cool shit is going to happen in the dunk contest. And then like the 3-point contest is fast and watchable. Great. And like with the 3-point contest this year, I was like, okay, Lillard being in it in itself like really just rubbed me the wrong way because it's like I get like he's won it 2 times or 3 times. I forget how many going into this.
Three now, 3 counting
Yeah,
this one.
yeah. And it's like, okay, yeah. But also like he's taking a spot from someone who's like either like a young player or a veteran who probably could have like used a national spotlight and not a guy who's played 0 minutes of NBA basketball this year. Like it's just weird, especially because like imagine if Jayson Tatum had done it instead of Damian Lillard. What the fucking national response to that would have
And
been.
Tatum's been like working out. Like he's like there are people who think he's going to come back in the next couple of weeks. Dame,
Right.
there hasn't been a shred of evidence that he's even close.
But if
coming
Tatum did the 3-point contest a few days ago, the amount of people on Twitter talking about how much of a sellout he is, that he's milking the injury, that like it would just be ridiculous. But like Dame has aura, so it's fine. Like it's crazy to me.
Nothing says aura like a guy who's never won anything but
Yeah.
the 3-point shootout.
Yeah. And then like the dunk contest is like sucked for like 5 years in a row now, if not longer. Like Mac McClung was fun as like a novelty act, the same way like the Savannah Bananas can be entertaining in a short spurt. But like besides that, it's like there's been nothing and no reason to tune in, and no stars will even do it anymore. So it's like guys you've never heard of, especially for casuals. Like you're not gonna get it. Like it was cool when Jalen did it. Was it last year or 2 years ago that Jalen did it?
Last
Yeah.
year.
It was like, you know what? Like I respect Jalen doing it because like he's the best player to do it.
Since probably what, Blake Griffin?
Right. Something like that. There might be someone I'm forgetting.
I
But
mean,
yeah,
Aaron Gordon did it more recently, but Aaron Gordon at the time was not in Jalen's class.
right. And same with Levine, where like, yeah,
Yeah.
Levine became, you know, a 25 point per game guy, but he wasn't that guy yet.
Yeah.
But it's just like this is sad. Like watching like these like 6 point per game players in the dunk contest. And like LeBron never did one. And like that's kind of sad. And obviously I'm not asking like 40-year-old LeBron to do a dunk contest. That would be dumb. But like imagine how cool like if Miami LeBron did it, like the
Russ never
ratings.
did one either. And like he would have
Yeah.
been, I feel like he would have been awesome in the dunk contest.
Yeah, 100%. And it's like it would be cool to like see that. Like and that would get eyes on the event. And like this whole thing is dying. And it's kind of a shame. And I do think the All-Star game reformat weirdly kind of worked because Adam Silver will solve everything with a tournament. And like at least Wembanyama gave a shit, and that kind of caused other people to give a shit through the domino effect. that 7'5" alien is really going to save this sport, isn't he?
He's the
But-
chosen one.
We gotta cherish it because like that body is frail. I don't know
Yeah.
how long he's going to be playing,
Right.
but yeah, while he is, it's going to continue to be entertaining for sure. It's a shame that like we've gotten to the point where the All-Star game is like, or the All-Star tournament is like the best part of the weekend.
Yeah. Because
Like I didn't watch the Rising Stars thing.
didn't
I think the like again also a tournament. Um, but like I guess like the Rising Stars thing has always been I guess kind of cool because it's the Rising Stars. There's the future aspect of it. Yeah, I miss when it used to be the rookie sophomore game
Yeah.
instead of like G leaguers playing in it. But like I guess it's cool. Like Ron Harper Jr. gets a little bit of burn during All-Star weekend. Like
And then
that's
he gets to do the Shooting Stars challenge with his dad and his brother.
oh my god, and that was a nightmare too. But like just I don't know. I don't know how to fix it. Like stars don't want to do it. I think maybe the overarching issue is still that the season's too long. And like if you're now punishing guys for taking rest during the season by not letting them win awards if they don't play at least 65 games, it de-incentivizes them to participate during All-Star weekend. But like this season's been an 82 game season for ever.
Yeah, and like even before you created the 65 game rule, stars still weren't doing
Yeah.
it. So I don't know if you have to create like a stupid amount of prize money for these events to like, especially for the dunk contest.
Maybe that is part of it because contracts have gotten so ridiculous that like
Yeah.
what's 500 grand to Zion? Like
Yeah.
Zion's played like 4 games in the last 3 years and he's making like 35 million a year.
Yeah.
Like he's not going to get out of bed for 500 grand so he could jump over fucking Jose Alvarado on a dunk attempt. You know, like it's just it doesn't
They need
do it
Mr.
for me.
Beast to sponsor the dunk contest and give like $100 million to whoever wins.
There's a bunch of ideas that have come out about how to make All-Star Weekend better. Like I think Bill Simmons mentioned that like a big issue is that a lot of the great dunkers aren't playing in the NBA. Like they're, doing street ball or something else. And I don't know if you got to make it like an arcade game almost, or you're just doing like fucking slam ball for the dunk contest or something stupid, but like they got to do something because I don't know, like even the 3-point shootout, like you mentioned, like Dame doing it as like the like I mean, didn't like Donovan Mitchell was in it too, right? So like stars do the 3-point shootout, but
And Devin
I don't
Booker
know.
was in it.
Yeah, so like stars still do the 3-point shootout, but I think when the dunk contest is going to be such a disaster, like it almost makes it hard to enjoy watching the best shooters in the world shoot for however a minute and was it now a minute and 10 seconds. Now they get the freaking extra 2 shots from like Mars for like 3 points or whatever, the Curry range ball. And like the money ball rack and shit. I don't know. All-Star Weekends is a sham. But Jamie, do you have any thoughts on All-Star Weekend?
I feel the same. I mean, I don't watch it nearly as much as I used to. I feel like back in the day when you had like Howard, you had Aaron Gordon dunking over cars, I would actually like want to watch the dunk contest. But I feel like the last couple of years, it's the very last thing on my mind. I feel like especially when you compare the 4 major sports, maybe like tied with NFL, also kind of Pro Bowl / All-Star Weekend. I feel like people don't really watch as much anymore, and stars don't even participate. And if it's like, if the dunk contest is a bunch of guys in the G League, I'm not going to stay up to watch it like I used to 10 years ago when it was like guys doing sick dunks over cars or stuff like that.
Yeah, there's just no like it's tough too because the dunk contest has also obviously been around for so long. Like what dunk can somebody do that's like original? There really isn't one. Doesn't make, hard dunks less impressive, but it's like there's the element of I've never seen that before. And I don't know how to change
dunk
it.
tournament.
They did try that. No, they tried that. Remember? No, it wasn't a tournament, but it was they had teams. Remember that one year where they had teams? That was like that might be the worst dunk contest ever.
Yeah, that is up there. It's just like, and I hear what you're saying on the like whole creativity element of it, but also like it might be a chicken and egg problem of like when you have Jackson Hayes, maybe that's why it seems uncreative because it's Jackson Hayes. And like
Yeah, I
if you
really want
had
him promoting your sport. Just a real winner, Jackson Hayes is.
versus like, if I don't know, if Giannis decided randomly I want to do it, like maybe you'd see some cool shit there.
Kalshi ambassador Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yeah.
Who would you guys like if they were to do it? Who would be the players you guys would want to like? You would actually tune in and say, "I'm going to sit down and watch this." If they said they were going to do it,
See, that's a good question.
That is a very good question. It's tough. I'm going to pretend every single player's in their prime. No, I'm not because then it becomes a little bit more easy. I still would like to see Russell Westbrook do it. He's not as explosive as he was, obviously, with OKC and like maybe even as recent as when he was with the Wizards. But I still think he'd be very entertaining to watch. John Morant, I think, would be awesome in the dunk contest. Like, I don't care if he wants to pretend to shoot a bazooka into the crowd after it. Like, I would absolutely love watching him
with a gun.
the views would skyrocket.
Oh my goodness, that would be. You want to talk about creating a viral moment? I don't know who else would I want in the.
I'd
in
love
the dunk
Ant.
contest?
Ant would be so
Ant
cool.
would be good. Ant would be good. Who else? I mean, VJ Edgecombe turned it down. He would have been fun to see, especially because he's a small dude.
I think Amin Thompson could be a good one for like
Either Thompson brother would be pretty good.
Ken Johnson.
Yeah, who else? I'm trying to think of some of the better dunkers in the league. Cooper Flagg. Maybe like at least even if he sucks, like again, Jalen got put in the finals in his little dunk contest run because he's Jaylen Brown, not because he was like actually one of the top 2 dunkers. But I think Cooper Flagg would bring a little bit of buzz. That'd be nice. Aaron Gordon's never going to do it again, and rightfully so. One, because he physically is incapable of playing any more basketball than he has to, and 2, because he said that if he didn't win that last time, he was never doing it again. And like maybe this is just karma for robbing him of a dunk contest that he should have won.
Anthony Edwards. Would you guys put Anthony Edwards in there?
Ant would be
Ant's
good.
probably be number 1 on my list, honestly, in terms of star, the athleticism. Like, I feel like that could get butts in seats finally.
Trey Murphy did a good job in it when he was in it a couple years ago. I wouldn't hate seeing him back in it.
No.
Neesmith, I think, would be quietly a decent, mostly just because he's constantly moving like he's on like 17 Red Bulls. So I think even if he did like a simple like one-handed dunk, it would somehow look ridiculous.
Imagine him and Vrabel hitting C12 together.
Imagine. I can only imagine what Aaron Neesmith would look like after doing like smelling salts.
This would be as wide as you've ever seen someone's eyes before.
Yeah, seriously. But yeah, I think I don't know how many people are in the dunk contest. I don't even remember. Is it 8? 4? It's only 4 now. It used to be like 8.
Yeah.
So if I had to pick 4, I think it'd probably be. I'd still probably lean Russ in there just for the like getting a Hall of Famer in there. So like for me, it'd probably be Russ, Ja, Ant, and maybe Zion or Cooper Flagg. I think probably Cooper Flagg just for the fact that like Cooper Flagg actually plays basketball. I can't hate Damian Lillard being in the 3-point shootout and then be like put Zion Williamson in the dunk contest.
After the first dunk, Zion's like limping around.
Yeah, he would never play basketball again if he had to do that. But yeah, that'd probably be my 4. I don't really know who else. And then if you wanted to throw like the niche players in there, like if you wanted to get it up to 8 and throw Mac McClung back in the mix, like I mean, Mac was still like it was entertaining.
Yeah.
Probably more because he was a short white guy that didn't play in the NBA, but like it was giving real like John Scott vibes. But hey,
Yeah, but at least like he wanted to be there.
yeah. I mean, it was the only time he was ever on an NBA roster. Is like the
Yeah.
day before All-Star weekend, so he was eligible. Yeah. I think that's it as far as like guys I'd really want to see in it. Edgecombe too I think would be fun, but he like literally had the opportunity and said no. So
Force 41-year-old LeBron to do it, or Bronny will be banned for life from the NBA.
I still think LeBron would put on a pretty good show. It wouldn't be like he wouldn't win the thing, but like he'd hold his own. Like he's still a very good in-game dunker.
Yeah. It's just, oh my, can you imagine the shit Miami LeBron would do? Like it would like, oh, it might be like in like the Vince Carter tier. Like it really could have been.
Yeah, I would agree. I think like not at this point in his career, but like 3 or 4 years ago, DeMar DeRozan would have put on a pretty good show in the dunk contest. He did one back in like the beginning of his career. I remember that. Or maybe I'm no, Terrence Ross did it, but I think DeRozan also did one. But I think it'd be funny to watch Bull try it. Is he even on a team? Is he even employed by an NBA organization?
Ship Taco overseas.
I mean, Taco's in the celebrity game. He was in the celebrity game with Shams Charania,
who
Giannis wanted to trade.
Can we talk about though how love Shams, but his shots were looking a little rough in that game. I didn't watch it. I just saw like a 1-minute video on Twitter of him shooting.
I miss Woj. Like, so many of the shenanigans that happen in NBA media did not happen when we had Woj as like the brick wall to prevent it all. And now, like, and I understand gambling has also changed the game, and maybe that's why he got out of the game when he did, that he saw where the tide was going. But like, you see so many like things that are misreported by the major sources, or just like, oh, this is going to happen, and then it just doesn't, in a way that it generally felt like if Woj put out a report, it was 99.999% of the time going to hit.
Yeah. Woj was really in his own tier. And like Shams is still good. Like he's still, I mean, he's definitely the best there is now. But yeah, no, Woj was one of one. Definitely. Can we put him in the dunk contest? That'd be
Shams against Woj in the final.
Oh my goodness.
It's like them, Stephen A.
and Kendrick Perkins.
Perkins is probably just like doing little lift offs.
Plus, you get Barkley and Shaq to do it too.
Oh my goodness. Can Shaq even grab the rim anymore? Like, does he have the range of motion to even like? Yeah.
If you want people to look at it, I guarantee if they said Shaq's in it, everyone would tune in for at least like some portion of that.
Yeah, Shaq in the dunk contest, but lower the hoop to 9 feet, just to make sure he can still dunk. Just to confirm that. Man, I'm still trying to think of other dunkers in the league that I would want to see. Like, I don't know, because I feel like the game's so on the perimeter now that like I don't even like there's not even that many guys I can picture being like great dunkers. And then like after watching Jalen, it just because you can do it in a game does not mean you can do it in the dunk contest either. So I don't know. There's got to be some like jabron role player. Remember when Jeremy Evans was in the dunk contest and he was like good? There's just no Gerald Greens anymore, you know? But anyway,
we can bring him back.
True.
Could. It took me forever to realize that he was missing a finger or like part of a finger. That he like didn't get like it got like caught in the rim or something when he was young. I think that's what happened, and it like severed. One of my favorite Celtics ever, though. anyway, that was the Gerald Green minute.
Remember when they put him in the starting lineup and they were like suddenly like so good?
Yeah,
That was-
in the playoffs.
yeah.
Yeah, Brad Stevens made no sense, but like he was an animal. That postseason when he benched, what was it, Amir Johnson and Jared Sullinger, was like Gerald Green and Jonas Jerebko time, and it worked. And Evan Turner because Avery Bradley got hurt.
Yeah.
Jerebko is
Memphis
low-key one of my
got $7
favorite.
million.
Huh?
Jerebko is one of my most random favorite Celtics.
Oh, I
that
love
like made no sense, but
Jerebko walked so Kristaps could. I was gonna say run, but he doesn't do that.
He does not.
Jog.
A Snapchat memory came up the other day for me, and it was when because I used to watch pre and post all the time on NBC Sports Boston, and it was around the deadline, obviously, because it is in February, and there was like likeliest to move, and it was like Jay Crowder was on the list, Jerebko, Olynyk, a couple other guys. And of all the guys, I circled Jerebko and put no in all caps. Like Jerebko used to follow me on Twitter, which is like fantastic. Like that's, I mean, only Celtic that's ever followed me.
Future guest?
Maybe. I don't know. He doesn't follow me anymore. Probably because he realized I was a 15-year-old that would absolutely DM the NBA player that followed me on Twitter like incessantly because I was 15. Anyway, that's beside the point. More stuff out of All-Star Weekend. Jaylen Brown was very proud of the Celtics' first half performance. So naturally, everybody thought Jaylen Brown was giving himself a pat on the back. Which like in the post, he literally said, proud of my team, or like proud of this group, staff, and front office or something. He said, like, he didn't even say, I think the only time he said I was, oh, here it is. I'm proud of this group and staff / office. Looking forward to second half. Go C's. And it was just the stats at the All-Star break last year versus this year. And like people freaked out about that. Why?
They were bored. Like, I feel like how can you read that and think he's trying to like have an ego trip or something?
Well, I guess like people want to like jump through the hoops to be like, oh, well, he's showing the stats are better this year and there's no Tatum this year, so he's saying he's better than Tatum, and it's like, or like that's just jumping through hoops. Like not everything is a conspiracy.
I think the funny thing is too, is these stats clearly show that they're worse.
Yeah. And I think like the win-loss was like technically like a game better or something, and that's what like everyone's
they're 4 games worse or 3.5 games worse than they were last year. Same seed. Their offense is better. Their offensive rating's better, but their defensive rating's worse, and their net rating's worse. So all he did was post a screenshot that said, "Wow, we're still the 2 seed, and all of our numbers this year are worse than last year. I'm proud of this group." And people are like, fuck you, Jaylen. For like what reason?
Well, clearly he doesn't miss Drew Holiday enough.
True.
Yeah. He did not retweet the Xavier Tillman video. He did not cry when Xavier Tillman got traded. Jordan Walsh did. Jordan Walsh was very sad that X got traded.
Well, yeah, because now people might think Jordan Walsh is old because there's no Tillman to distract.
Is that a bald thing?
Yeah.
Is that your way of saying I look old too? Like Xavier Tillman can't distract people from me.
You have a hat on. I don't see anything.
It's getting heated on the pod right now. Shots are being fired.
Yeah. Just don't let Jack post any sort of statistics on Twitter. I'm gonna be like, is this a shot at me? Is this is there beef? Do we have beef here?
You want to know how you solve it too? Tournament. We have to.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Jack and I are gonna play a best of 7 series of I don't even know. We're gonna do a 2K dunk contest, which is somehow the only dunk contest worse than the actual NBA dunk contest. I've seen like people post videos of the NBA 2K dunk contest, and that shit is like actually vile. It's so awful.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's really bad. Anyway, as somebody who often finds any reason to give Jalen shit, like the fact that people complained about that was crazy. And the only thing weirder than the reaction to the Jalen post was the reaction to the Tatum post about hitting week 40 of his rehab. Didn't you see the thing Andy Hart said on WEEI?
What do you say?
Oh my god, let me pull the video up because it was like genuinely one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life. And I don't want to misquote it because then I think I'd be too nice to it. Be too nice to the take itself. Jesus, what's his Twitter at? Jumbo Heart or something stupid. Hang on.
I'm pretty
sure
sure
this-
that's like the Grinch's status by the end.
Lore accurate Grinch. Jumbo Heart.
You got the Christmas buzzword in there.
We did. It's a shame it's February. But yeah, you know what? I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it. Basically, he said that Tatum was taking a shot at Jalen because Tatum said he was patting himself on the back for showing up every day. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Jalen's too busy streaming to go to practice, Jordan. You didn't hear?
It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
He's too busy putting the Sharpie on his head to dribble.
Spray painting his hairline. Can't show up to practice. He's got to wait for the paint to dry. Oh my god. What is going on with people?
I think people are just bored of like no basketball.
No, but people would do this if it were like middle of November.
Yeah. And like part of it is just the exhaustingness of the Boston media market. And the sports media in general has devolved into this, but Boston's like the microcosm of like people saying insane shit for attention, because if you have a normal take, you don't last in the city. Like you need to be ridiculous, unfortunately. Unless you're like Tom Caron, who somehow like is like the one normal dude who gets to exist.
That's because TC's been here since like the 90s.
Exactly.
Right? So
yeah, no, and like I love TC.
Yeah.
But like it's like everybody else like in the media market is just like a lunatic, and it's like a competition to be the biggest lunatic.
But I think what's weird about Boston media is like if they're trying to go for the viral moment, why don't they have a Stephen A. Smith who's on the air to literally react to the stupid shit that their hosts say? Like that is literally why ESPN had Max Kellerman on First Take, was so Max would say something stupid and Stephen A. Smith would have the viral moment of basically telling him he's on drugs.
Yeah, but also like that failed because like Max would have to like do research to justify the stupid take he was fed, and Stephen A would not do any research, so it would sometimes blow up on itself.
Still lasted about 4 years though.
Yeah.
It's just somebody's got to be like at least in the room. So when Andy Hart says that Tatum is taking a shot at Jalen for posting about his own rehab from a gruesome leg injury, to be like, what is wrong with you? Maybe it's Carabas. We've already seen them beef once. So
didn't they call Drake May a baby too? Didn't they do that? I feel like I saw that on Twitter.
They say stupid.
I mean, that's kind of what Milliken ends up doing sometimes whenever like Zoe and Beetle venture into baseball. Like Milliken will be like, what are you talking about? Like, that's not true.
Those battles I do love because like I love how Tyler's like, yeah, you guys are just full of shit.
It's especially funny when Tyler does it to callers.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, that is not your job, but I love that it sometimes is your job to just yell at people for 5 minutes. Like, you're a producer. Like, I love it so much. Like, we're never going to see Chris Scheim do that for WEEI. Anyway. Yeah, so back to I guess we'll segue that into Tatum's rehab in general. There's that docuseries coming out on, was it NBC?
Yeah.
In 4 days, is it? The first episode's dropping. It's a 5-part docuseries. Of course, because it's Jayson Tatum, I'm sure that'll be met with sterling reviews on the internet. But I personally love like that's got to be a super vulnerable docuseries. Like we're gonna see. I mean, it's called The Quiet Work for a reason. It's gonna be all about the mental struggle of it, obviously with the physical aspect of rehab. But I'm really looking forward to watching this. And in that little teaser he posted, the line he dropped that I thought was sick was like the only thing worse than not being able to walk again is coming back and not being Jayson Tatum. Like bar, absolute bar, absolute cinema. I cannot wait to watch this docuseries. Jamie, what are your thoughts on the Jayson Tatum docuseries coming out?
I'm excited. I feel like it's kind of like we're gonna get to see him in a new light, and I feel like with a player that is of his stature, you don't really get to see that. And I love when athletes do that. I mean, I've been watching something like 5-Star on, I think it's on Amazon, where they just like follow 5-star recruits, and you get to see like the recruiting process and all the mental battle of it. And I just like when you do docs on athletes, especially someone like Tatum. I respect him for doing that too, because you're probably gonna see some things that are uncomfortable and that he wasn't like the most eager, I feel like, to be on film. So I'm excited to see that too.
The thing Jack sent in our group chat is funny. Very much something that
That's good.
very accurate. Very accurate. Do you see the picture of him? It was at a college basketball game. I think he went to West Virginia, right? So that's probably the school he was attending the game of. And it's just like, oh, welcome Joe Mazzulla. And he is like the most miserable man in that building. Just so please get that camera out of my face. I love him so much. But yeah, Jack, what are your thoughts and expectations for this docuseries?
No, I'm looking forward to it, obviously. I mean, I've already seen, people on Twitter be like, oh, industry plant Jayson Tatum, who could have returned months ago, milking it for the clicks. And I'm like, it's so crazy just like seeing like how real people's brains work. Cause like, like that you get to vote. That's crazy. And maybe that
And their vote counts just as much as ours does.
Right. And yeah, but no, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be well done. And, just getting that sort of perspective because Tatum, I think part of the thing is with Tatum is there's like a lot of people who don't necessarily connect with him because like he isn't a big personality. He doesn't like do like a ton of interviews and go on Hot Ones and do the whole gauntlet that like a lot of like the NBA stars will kind of do. Like you see LeBron everywhere and Steph everywhere. And even like in the next generation of players, like Ant will like be more visible or like whoever Devin Booker will be more visible, even though not as good as Tatum, but like has that sort of like media presence. Even Jalen will kind of like do that circuit.
I mean, Jalen does stream. Like Jalen streams every day.
He's doing the stuff with Bill Nye and like stuff like that, where like if you're like a casual person, you probably have a better understanding of who Jaylen Brown is than Jayson Tatum is. So like if this kind of allows people to kind of get a better grasp on who Jayson is, especially like off the court, and realize like, oh, this is not only like one of the 5 or so best basketball players on the planet, this is also like one of the 5 or so best human beings who play basketball at that level too, because like that's the thing with Tatum is like he has such a completely flawless like personal record, has never like gotten into any controversies, any scandals, any fights, like the guy just hoops and wins and smiles about it and then goes home and is a dad. And if that's kind of what people get like that full grasp on, it'll be nice. Maybe the tide will start to turn a little bit on auralist Jayson Tatum.
Yeah, especially if he comes back and he has a huge impact on the rest of the season, which I don't know. I still think he's 100% coming back, and he knows he's 100% coming back, and he's just playing coy with the media, being like, "Oh, I haven't decided." Because I mean, if he kind of shows his hand at all, then people start preparing for him to come back. I think like if they pull like a whole what they did with Porzingis last year, maybe that's a bad omen to put out into the universe, but like when randomly in like November it was like, "Oh, Porzingis is starting tonight." Like that was crazy. I wonder if I mean, again, the Sixers game on March 1st has already been flexed to a standalone game. Seems like kind of any big game that the Celtics have at home in the month of March is probably going to be nationally televised. I mean, they've got the Sixers on March 1st is on Peacock. They've got Cooper Flagg's TD Garden debut is on ESPN. They have the that's the Wizards. They have the Suns come to town. I mean, that's Devin Booker, so it's still a star player. That's on ESPN. Obviously, there's the ultimate hate watch of Steve Kerr coming to TD Garden on the 18th, and then Ant on the 22nd is also on national TV. So the Celtics have a fair amount of matchups at home against star players or really good teams, and almost all of them are on national TV. There's no shot in hell. I feel bad for Drew Carter. He's not going to get to call Tatum's return to action, but I think Tatum knows exactly when he's coming back. I'm still hedging my bet on it being that Wednesday game against Charlotte because it's the day after his birthday and it's a home game. And it's very ironic that, that whole viral clip of him being like, people want to come watch me, even if it's a league pass game against the Hornets, and his return from the Achilles tear is going to be, well, not a league pass game, but against the Hornets. And it's the only one that's not nationally televised. But I don't know, Jamie, when do you think Tatum's coming back, or do you think he's coming back at all? Because again, that's something that's still, I guess, until it's official.
I think he is, but I do think they're gonna try to keep it, or he's gonna try to keep it under wraps just for people preparing for it. But I feel like with the Porzingis thing, I don't know if that would be able to happen, just because I feel like that would leak. But I do think they're going to try to keep that as coy as much as they can. Even though that will be hard with obviously a player of his caliber. But if there's one night that's the night before the lines start going crazy, I'm ready for the chaos and everyone being like, "Oh, this line has jumped 10 points."
Yeah, I wonder if Giannis has put any money on Kalshi about Tatum's return date. I'm gonna have to check that out. That pisses me off, by the way. I know it pisses off a lot of people. I'm not unique in that viewpoint, but anyway, Jack, when do you think Tatum's coming back?
I think it's the March 1st game. The channel that is producing the documentary about the return reschedules a game right around when he's supposed to return for their network. I mean, there's always a chance he hits a setback, he hits a snag, he doesn't feel 1,000% in a practice the day before or something, or in Maine or whatever's happening, and it does get pushed back because they're obviously going to be cautious. They're not going to have him play unless they feel 100% confident in his ability to play that game. But as long as there aren't any setbacks, he's playing that March 1st game at the Garden against the Sixers. Can you imagine how, it's funny too, because it's against the Sixers, who, obviously originally had the pick that Tatum was selected with, and, traded up for Markelle Fultz, who doesn't play basketball anymore. And imagine if Joel Embiid had this injury, how many games he would miss versus Jayson Tatum. If Joel Embiid's Achilles exploded, it might take him 3 years.
I mean, what did he have when he got drafted? Was it a Liz Frank injury? He missed a year and a half with it. Which the Liz Frank injury is gruesome. I mean, it took Cam Newton forever to come back from that too in the NFL, but Embiid would never play again. I mean, at this point in his career, I would not blame him if he tore his Achilles, if he was just like, I'm done. Like it's not on the cards. This I'm gonna have to
I
figure
will
out
no
something else to do
longer
at
trust
7-2.
the process.
He's gonna have to figure out something else that being 7-2 is useful for, and maybe just reaching the top shelf a lot. Maybe being a hockey goalie, just cover up the entire net. I don't know.
Jacob
find-
Markstrom's huge.
This
But
is
after
true.
watching that game today, I'm like, wow, that is a massive person.
I honestly think if that Lakers game on the 22nd was a home game, it would be that one, because that's also the day that docuseries is debuting. So if he against the Lakers at home on NBC, the Kobe comparison, or not the Kobe comparisons, but like idolizing Kobe, like that'd 100% be like his game of choice. The only problem is if he actually, never mind, they already played the Lakers at home, yeah, or no? Why am I not seeing the Lakers on the schedule again after this one? Did they already play the Lakers?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did back in December.
Yeah, that was the game both Luka and LeBron sat.
That's right. They ducked. I forgot about that. And yeah, they won by like 20. I remember now. But yeah, I get one more thing I want to bring up out of All-Star Weekend before we preview these 3 games. Y'all think those accounts are Kevin Durant's?
Yes.
Yes.
All of them?
Yes.
I agree. I'm with you. I think like people posted the video of him when he got announced at the All-Star game. That is a man who knows he got caught. Like you could see his face. He's like, I'm in trouble. What a dumbass.
And that's the thing with him is like, it's why like when everyone was like, you can trade Jalen for Durant, and I'm like, no, why would you want to do that? It's like, yeah, Durant's a first ballot Hall of Famer, one of the like 20 best players in NBA history. I get all that. And at the time, obviously, when things were wrapping up in Brooklyn, he was, younger than he is currently. But it's like, there's a reason this guy doesn't last long in places. Like he wears out his welcome quickly. And like, you don't really have to worry about that with Jaylen Brown. It always was like, why overcorrect, especially when like the Tatum and Brown thing. Obviously, they hadn't won yet, but like they kept knocking on the door, almost there, almost there, almost there. And I know I get like allegedly Ime wanted to do it, which is another strike on Ime as far as I'm concerned. And like that might be worse than anything he did in his personal life. But like
I'm not gonna allow that. I'm not gonna allow you to say that. I'm not. Cheating on Nia Long is one of the worst things anybody can do. I'm sorry.
This is true. That is a true statement.
Cheating on Nia Long is sacrilegious. That man should have gone to jail.
But like now Houston's in a really awkward spot with Durant because like obviously
he hates everybody on that team.
Yeah, and a lot of those players on that team are good young players. Like I know Şengün's like an asshole, but Şengün's a really good big, and like Amen Thompson's a really good player, and Jabari Smith, he hasn't like completely popped yet, but like there's still a lot of talent there. He's a top 5 pick. It's like, and seeing how he's just like going after all these guys, it's like it's not good. And this is just who he is, like that immaturity, the fact he still fights with people on Twitter on Maine and then has his burners to bitch about how much he hates his teammates. He's the most like insecure superstar I've ever seen in any sport. Like there's just no understanding and confidence in just how great he is, where like even if like LeBron thought that or Steph thought that or another sport, Tom Brady or Peyton Manning or Mookie Betts or whoever it wants to be, you wouldn't have to worry about these maturity problems. And like Kevin Durant is like comparable to that level of player. Like he's that good, but he's such an idiot and so immature.
I feel like too, to get like caught with a burner account like that like
again,
talent of stupidity.
Yeah, he lives for this. He's got such like main character syndrome, which doesn't make any sense because he doesn't need to behave this way to be a main character. He's Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
And he's on a good team. Like the Rockets before they got boat raced by the Celtics were like the only team other than the Thunder who'd lost fewer than 5 games at home. Like they win. They're a very good basketball team, and he is literally, oh my God, I cannot believe, like, maybe the best thing in like on Scott Brooks's resume is he somehow had James Harden and Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook, who, I mean, like, Russell Westbrook is the most normal of the three. And he's, I mean, I shouldn't lump Russ in there, but like Russ is definitely a big personality too. And like, it's almost similar to Mike Tomlin having Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, and Big Ben, like those big, gigantic personalities that are like, they self-sabotage everywhere they go. And somehow under Scott Brooks,
You had Kendrick Perkins.
And they had Kendrick Perkins, who, I mean, to be fair, Kendrick Perkins walked so Victor Wembanyama could run. You know, he does remind us of a prime example of KP, the OG KP. But anyway, any final thoughts before we preview these 4 games before our next episode?
I mean, we did, Simons did come back to the Garden. Wasn't,
did.
I think, as emotional as we all expected, but, he kind of was bombed in the first half of that game.
Were there tears shed?
Yeah. Yance was like sobbing coming into the game the first time.
He did say he wants to come back at some point, or he could see himself coming back at some point. Like, hey, man, if you want to sign for the MLE this offseason, come on down,
Would you guys bring him back on like a bench role?
Yeah, I mean, he's a bucket getter. I would love to see. I think he would, like, the one thing about Tatum's injury, in addition to like the obvious, is I think him and Ant would have actually been like a really good duo on the floor together. And we never got to see that, obviously. Would you bring him back, Jack?
I would. I think the fit gets weird. Like, I think assuming Tatum's back, and like, it would essentially be, you'd have to lock yourself into a decision of, is Pritchard going into the starting lineup for realsies moving forward? Or like, and if so, Ant conceivably makes sense. But if we are locking ourselves in with Pritchard as the 6th man and we're going to run 3 wings, D White, and a big, I just think Pritchard and Simons on the bench are too much of the same thing for it to work. But if Pritchard is going to start, or they decided we'll have Simons start and have Pritchard be the 6th man, like in either version of it, I think that could conceivably be fine. Obviously, it did work. But if Pritchard is a bench player, I don't think Simons can also be a bench player, because I just think they're the same guy, but Pritchard's a little better and cheaper.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
What about you, Jamie? Would you bring him back?
I agree. I would kind of like Jack's train thinking I would have one of them starting, and I feel like I would want Pritchard off the bench and him starting in that scenario. But I think both coming off the bench would be, I don't think that would work.
Yeah, I hear you. Alrighty, 4 games. And I did not close the schedule this time.
We're turning a new leaf in the second half.
Yeah. New half, new me. So 4 games, all on the road, all on the West Coast. So fun, I guess. Not really.
I'm gonna be so sleepy.
Yeah, I don't know. Will I watch tomorrow's game?
Steph Curry will not be playing in that.
I will not be watching that game then. Although without, yeah. So tomorrow, or I guess today, for those listening, Golden State, 10 p.m. Eastern time. That's on Amazon Prime. I am definitely not watching that fucking game. Absolutely not. Then Sunday night, at 6:30. That's on NBC and Peacock. That's against the Lakers. Then Tuesday at the Footprint Center against the Phoenix Suns at 9 p.m. Oh my God. And then Wednesday on ESPN at 10 p.m. We will be recording Thursday, without question, next week. So yeah, Jamie, how do the Celtics roll out of the break here?
That's like kind of a gauntlet of a schedule. I think they win tomorrow because there's no Steph. And I think they beat the Lakers, but Phoenix and Denver, I think those don't go well. I go 2-2.
It's just a lot of travel, or not a lot of travel, but like that's a lot of late nights. I know that some of these guys have already been on the West Coast, but like still, it takes some time to adjust to that. Jack,
I
what
feel
do
like you don't really get a
Getting
big
to
break
Sacramento
too.
What?
I feel like with those four, you don't get like a big break too. It's not like you're playing one West Coast team that has 10 wins and that you're just gonna steamroll. Like those are all good teams.
Yeah, why are the Suns 9 games over 500? Like, is their leading scorer or is their number 2 scorer still Dylan Brooks? It is still Dylan Brooks. He's averaging 21 points a game this year.
That can't be real.
How's he shooting from 3? He's only 34%. That's on brand. He's very much still a volume shooter. He is taking 18 shots a game.
Yeah, but they're winning.
Yeah. That doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm looking at this roster. This team is awful.
Who's their coach?
Who is their coach? Is it Budenholzer?
Jordan.
No, Jordan Ott. Who the fuck is that?
He used to be an assistant for the Cavs, I guess. Under
That's not a
Atkinson,
real person. They have
which makes
Cole
sense.
Anthony on the team.
Yeah, I mean, like he's worked with a lot of good coaches because, like, he was under Atkinson in both Brooklyn and then again in Cleveland, and then he worked for Izzo at Michigan State before then. So clearly comes from a good background. But yeah, give this guy coach of the year if it's not Missoula, because like holy shit, this team sucks. Like
Yeah, Devin Booker and Dylan Brooks are their top 2 scorers, and they're 9 games over 500 in the West. That is crazy.
Yeah. And like obviously Booker's great, but it's like, yeah, the rest of this roster, Grayson Allen,
Osa Ighodaro,
yeah,
Mark
like
Williams.
Jalen Green only played 7 games, so he doesn't even count.
They've Cole Anthony on the roster. They just signed Haywood Highsmith. Like, what's going on over there in Phoenix?
Yeah, there's some Astros cheating going on here. Like
I'm gonna text my friend who lives in Phoenix and ask her why the hell the Suns are good this year. Because I knew they weren't bad, like record wise. 9 over 500's a little fishy. A little fishy.
Trash cans, play back for Bane.
They're banging trash cans. What on earth is that? How they call out screens?
Yeah. Imagine if they brought back Aaron Baines.
That'd be. I mean, that would explain why there were 9 games over 500. I mean, it's all of Australia they're signing at the same time.
It's a big continent.
Imagine if if Boston sports had any overlap with Aaron Baines and Tristan Casas. Like Tristan Casas got fired up seeing Trevor Story naked. He might have exploded if he saw Aaron Baines naked.
With his ski mask in Florida.
The ski mask and his empty box that he was carrying today.
Was there anything ever determined if there was anything in fact in the box, or is that?
I don't know. I don't know, but like I really hope there wasn't.
I mean, it would be on brand for him.
Yeah, or it's like a SpongeBob situation where it's got the little secret string. He's such a weirdo. I love him so much. God, I hope he becomes good. Or not becomes good, but like actually plays so people can remember he's good. Anyway, Jack, how are the Celtics gonna do these next 4 games?
I'm gonna go cautiously optimistic here and say 3-1. Because I think Golden State, they're kind of lucking into a soft landing spot in that Golden State game just because of no staff, and obviously Jimmy is done for the year, and Porzingis is also out. Like I don't even know who's playing for Golden State besides Draymond. Like they finally exiled Kuminga. Like what is their starting lineup tomorrow is projected Pat Spencer, DeAnthony Melton, Moses Moody, Gui Santos, and Draymond Green.
Ew.
They're winning that game.
Like Spencer scoring 28 points though, like that's 100% happening. Draymond might drop 20.
Yeah, and then Pods and Horford are like their only healthy bench players. So yeah, I think they take care of business in Golden State. Then you get to Staples Center. I will not call it Crypto.com Arena. I will dead name it. They're gonna win that game too. I know what the Celtics do against Luka Doncic, and that's win. I'm not falling for that.
Or lose on a game winner.
Yeah, but like it'll be fine. I'm not gonna say I don't fear Luka Doncic, but like I don't. He's already getting fat again. LeBron's 1,000,000 years old. I was actually talking to one of my buddies last night about the Lakers, and like they have one of like the worst defensive teams I've ever seen in my life when you just go up and down the roster, where like besides Marcus Smart, like everybody on this roster is absolutely atrocious defensively. When you have Luka, Austin Reeves, 90-year-old LeBron, DeAndre Ayton, Luke Kennard, Jake LaRavia, like it, Jackson Hayes, Maxi Kleba. It's like, who the hell is playing defense on this team? Hachimura isn't a good defender either.
The rim.
What?
The rim. That's
yeah. It's like, and Marcus Smart isn't what he was, but he's obviously still at least like a guy who will put in effort on that side of the ball. But like besides that, I'm like, these guys suck. Like every single one of them's a below average defensive player. Like that is not a winning strategy. They're going to lose in the first round of the playoffs because they're not going to be able to stop anyone.
Yeah.
Like unless they get like a cushion matchup. But like if they have to play like the
They face the Suns.
Yeah. But even then, Dylan Brooks might average 40 because who's going to guard him? Like
the rim does a pretty good job a lot of the time.
It does. But it's like, imagine like if they have to play like Minnesota in the first round, like what Ants will do to that team. Like it'll be disgusting.
Yeah.
Or even like if it's the Clippers, like what Kawhi would do to that group. Like it's just, I don't buy this Lakers thing for a second. Speaking of teams I can't buy for a second, we've already addressed the Phoenix Suns of it all. Like this isn't real. And then, yeah, going into Denver and Jokic is finally healthy. I know Aaron Gordon's out, but besides that, they've got the rest of the crew back. And it's the second night of a back-to-back. Yeah, they're going to get smoked in Denver. Like, they're going to lose that game by, like, 25. But they're going to win the other 3.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think they're going to go 3-1. I just don't see a world where they win that Denver game. It's just... They already lost to them without Jokic at home. They're not going to win that game, second night of a back-to-back, unless they lose to Phoenix, similar to when they beat the living crap out of the Rockets. Like they didn't lose the night before, but like I didn't think they had a shot in hell of winning that Rockets game if they had beaten Dallas. I only picked them to win the Rockets game because I had them losing to Dallas. But yeah, they're going to lose that one. But yeah, I think you pretty much summed it up. Those first 3 games, it's just too much in favor of the Celtics. It's weird though, because I think that oddly enough, Jaylen Brown's going to not play very well against a team that he should absolutely kill in the Los Angeles Lakers. Like I think that's going to be like this Fugazi 7 turnover inefficient game, but like Derek White pops for like 32. and Vucci Main has 25 off the bench. But yeah, so 3-1. So we got 2 for 3-1, and then Jamie's got them at 2-2. So either way, they will still be at least 16 games above 500 when we reconvene next Thursday ahead of the vaunted Brooklyn Nets, which they've already beat them once, so I shouldn't
at TD
Garden. So
on a Friday night.
On a Friday. That's all valid points, but also could be the last game. The Celtics do not have Jayson Tatum. Well, I shouldn't say the last game because he obviously will have the load management nights as he comes back, but
no, he's playing 48 minutes a game rest of season.
He's coming back pretending Tom Thibodeau's his coach. Actually, Joe Mazzulla might treat him that way just because that's what Joe Mazzulla does. Or not what he does, but it'd be very on brand of him to just turn into Tom Thibodeau for the one guy coming off an Achilles tear. But yeah, any final thoughts before we wrap this up? I'm amazed this only took an hour 15.
Yeah, we
got all. Do we miss any buzzwords? Do we get those all
I don't think we want to say any of the buzzwords that are currently going on in America right now. I want to avoid those. Like the plague.
Utah Mammoth star Clayton Keller might be getting a gold medal. He might have one by the time we reconvene. That would be nice. Ian's BU alum Clayton Keller.
It's possible. Certainly possible.
Basically
I have not watched any Olympics. I've not watched any of the Olympics. Am I a fake patriot?
As long as the support is there, doesn't mean you have to watch.
Yeah.
We'll have spring training baseball next time we reconvene for everyone who's been marking that down.
Yeah. I know this is hashtag not a Red Sox podcast, but who do you guys think will be this year's Trace Thompson, where people pretend that they should be on the MLB roster on opening day? I think it's Brendan Rodgers. I think that was like so obvious the moment he signed.
I'm going with Vinny Capra just because of the name.
Yeah. And he led spring training in home runs, I think, last year.
I think, and I'm also traumatized from his Pirates experience, so that's also still there.
Was he a Pirate?
I think Mickey Gasper popping for an insane spring training and then never getting a hit again is the funniest possible solution.
So if that man doesn't get a hit his second time around, that's just cruel.
I hope, and maybe this is kind of mean to say because I'm rooting for him to lose his job. But like, I kind of hope that he makes the opening day roster, like pinch hits a couple times, doesn't get a hit either time. He doesn't have to get out, just can't get a hit, and then gets DFA'd.
Does he get a tribute video though of spring training highlights?
No, because he doesn't have a regular season hit. Rumor has it his parents are still at Fenway.
And they're going to still pan to his parents in the crowd every single time. Like, that's what made it so bad, too, is like they would just show his parents every at bat, like they're waiting, it's time, and then it would never happen.
In case you guys forgot, Mickey Gasper has parents.
And they're here.
And they're here watching the Red Sox lose and watching him not get any hits. He lined out so many times. I felt so bad for him.
Oh, yeah, no, he made hard contact like a handful of times, and it just never fell.
Poor guy. But he's back, which is fun. I enjoy it. I enjoy that he's back for now until he might get a hit in the regular season. Anyway, that'll do it for this edition of the Hour Back Report. Again, episode 17 for Jamie and Jack. I'm Jordan. Till next time, peace out and go Seas.
We did it.